Okay, this video might be a teeny bit controversial, but we're gonna do it anyway. So the concept of this video is, how can we stop allowing our limitations, our limiting beliefs, our blockages, our fears, doubts, insecurities, lack mindset, victim mentality, all the negativity, all the limitations that we have blocking us from our manifestations? How do we eradicate them completely so that we can manifest what we want into our lives? That is what this video is about. Stay tuned to the end of this video to hear exactly how you can do it. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Rahaza, and if this is the first time that you're seeing my face, then welcome. It's so nice to have you. If you are interested in getting a one-on-one coaching from me, if you're interested in any of the courses that I offer or a free masterclass that I just came out with on self-concept, then you can check that all out on www.rahaza.com. Now, let's get into the topic of today's video, which is how to stop your limitations from blocking your manifestations from coming into fruition. How do we heal all of our limitations so that we can manifest the things that we want into our life? Here's the thing. You don't need to heal every single thing in your life. You don't need to remove every single limiting belief in your life in order to manifest the things that you desire into your life. Yep. No, you don't. Listen, at the end of the day, we are always going to have stuff to heal. We are human beings. We came into this life to have a human experience. And in that human experience, every single person, literally no man left behind, everybody struggles with things. Everybody has internal struggles. Everybody has external struggles. Yes, of course, there's always something to heal, and we absolutely can take the time, if we feel resonant to healing something about ourselves, we can take the time to begin healing. But we do not need to heal everything to call in anything that we desire. In fact, the actual thought and idea that I need to heal X before I can receive Y, that in and of itself is a limitation. The reason that you have limitations that are blocking your manifestation is because you're putting your focus on the limitation instead of the manifestation. I want you to challenge yourself right now to stop thinking about the blocks. Stop thinking about your limitations. Stop thinking about how you need to heal this and this before you can do this or before you can achieve this. I need to heal my inner child and heal my relationship with my parents before I can attract love. Or I need to completely remove all my money block before I can attract money. Or I need to heal completely my body image before I attract my dream body. We don't need to do all that. We don't. As much as trust me, I've been on this healing journey, I've been on this spiritual journey, I've done all the things, and it's been helpful. It has. And you know, all of it has its time and place, and it can be helpful, and everyone's on their own individual journey, and everything that works for one person may not work for every single person. I understand that. But there comes a point where we spend so much energy focusing on the things that we need to heal, the things that we need to fix, the things that we need to change, that we're not focusing enough on the future that we're creating, the life that we want to embody, the thoughts that we want to reprogram into our mind, and the things that we want to call in and attract into our life. The more we stay stuck and ruminate, the more we're just creating more and more excuses, the more we're focusing on the things that we don't want to create more of, but we actually end up creating more of it because our focus is on the limitations, the things that we do not want to see manifested. So what we can do about this is we can shift our focus from, instead of constantly thinking about the doubts, instead of constantly thinking about how much you need to heal, to start, whenever you start noticing your mind goes there and you start thinking about how you need to heal all these things, instead to say, I have the mental discipline to say, I'm just going to reaffirm in a new story right now that reaffirms the life that I want to create. I'm going to choose, as the conscious creator of my reality, to take my focus out of the darkness, because listen, it's okay to get into those dark places, to be there for a little bit, but how long are we staying stuck there? That's really the key. Is our life constantly healing? Is our life constantly trying to remove our limitations and focused solely on our limitations? Or are we going to take our power back, remove it from the limitations, and place it into the life that we're creating? There's no need to over ruminate. There's no need to constantly beat ourselves up for not being healed yet. because there's always going to be something to heal that is part of being human. But that should not stop us from having our focus on the life that we want to create and building a beautiful, happy life experience where we just get to be happy because we decide that that is where we want to place our focus and that's the life that we want to create. Like I said, it really can be an excuse for us to not put ourselves in a position of receiving the things that we desire because we're scared and we're not ready to commit to the life that we desire. If you want to manifest your perfect, ideal body, but you recognize, okay, I have a block in believing I'm unworthy. I have a block in believing I'm unlovable if I'm not a certain weight. I have a block in knowing that when I was a child, my parents mentioned my weight a lot, and so blah, 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 blah. You recognize these things, you have the self-awareness to see that you have blocks in this area clearly, and you know you need to heal them and uncover them. And while you can do some inner work around that, what we want is to be intentional about the time that we spend healing, but we also want to be very intentional that we're not staying stuck in this low place of healing and that we're consciously bringing ourselves out and putting our focus into reaffirming a new story for ourselves, deciding that I'm not going to let my blocks be an excuse that I stay stuck in this place of not actually manifesting the body that I desire. I can manifest the body I desire and still have things to heal and work on. The more you put focus onto the life that you're creating, the more that the limitations are just naturally gonna flow away. Because if you're constantly reaffirming the life that you wanna create, and you're telling yourself these new affirmations, and you're telling yourself these new belief systems, and you're persisting in the new story rather than ruminating on the old story, ruminating on the things that you're trying to leave behind, instead you're putting your focus on the life that you're creating, what happens is the negativity, it naturally begins to flow away. You're naturally flowing more and more into alignment. You're naturally creating a new story for yourself that when the negative thoughts come up, you're able to have the mental discipline to bring yourself back and the negative thoughts will no longer show up for you. It takes persistence. It takes you stepping into your power and deciding that I no longer want to continue feeding those negative thoughts. And again, this really does take persistence and the awareness to be able to, sorry about my dog, and the awareness to be able to see that my ego wants me to be stuck in rumination. My ego wants me to stay in this place of inaction. My ego wants me to not be productive and instead constantly try to dig deep into my shadow self and constantly find out what's wrong with me. This sends us into a negative spiral. It causes us to view ourselves in a negative light. Instead, we can decide my soul, my highest version of myself, she is the healthiest version of me. My healthiest, happiest, most highest self is abundant. She has all the resources that she needs to live a free, fulfilled, happy life where she's able to live with less stress and be able to give back to the world. My highest self is abundant so that she can give to the world. My highest self makes an impact on the world in a positive way. Why would your highest self want you to be constantly ruminating over here on all of your limitations when instead you could be gravitating and building yourself up to match up with your highest self? Our ego wants us to be constantly searching for something wrong, searching for a reason why we can't step into our potential. I want you to recognize this block and be able to redirect yourself to the life that you are creating for yourself. We need to be able to shut off the rumination once we notice that it gets to a point of just the thoughts are just repeating. The thoughts are just cycling over and over and over again. And listen, it's not your fault. This is not a blame game. This is not beat yourself up about this. This is recognize that we have 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day and 90% of them are recycled from the day before. Obviously, we're going to have negative thoughts that are on a constant loop, constantly reaffirming the old identity, the old reality, our limitations, our blocks, and the reality that we don't want to experience. So what we need to do to be the conscious creators of our reality, to get to our next level, to get to where we want to be, is we need to reaffirm a new story on a consistent basis. Constantly be reaffirming, constantly be redirecting our thoughts and bringing our attention to the life that we want to create. This is a conscious effort until you do it enough times that it just becomes habit. It just becomes the way that you think is now more in alignment with your higher self rather than your past self. And while you're switching and transitioning into your higher self, what's going to happen is naturally, first of all, your old identity is going to be fighting against it, and it's going to want to bring you back down. What we need to do is be very aware and continue to persist in the new identity, the new reality that we're creating. That's first of all. Second of all, eventually over time, the more that you persist, naturally the old identity is going to fall away. The things that do not serve you in your life are going to fall away. The more you get into alignment with your higher self, the more the negativity and the things that do not serve you are naturally going to fall away, because now you're in a place of higher awareness, higher alignment with your true self and who you want to be in the life that you're trying to create. The point I'm trying to get across is take your focus and be very intentional about where you put your focus. We can be intentional about being in this ruminating place, let's say, because it's a natural human tendency to sometimes think about the negativity. Sometimes just pops into our mind. We can't control all of the thoughts that come to us, but we don't want to stay stuck, okay? That is the key here, is that we have the power to recognize that we can bring ourselves out of that place. We don't need to stay stuck there. That it's okay. We can forgive ourselves, not, create resistance against the fact that we got ourselves there, but that we can take ourselves out of that low place. And it may not be easy initially, but with time, with persistence, with constantly reaffirming the new story that you want to create for yourself and programming your mind, although you may not believe the story you're telling yourself at first, the more you continuously be conscious about reaffirming the new thoughts that you do want to experience into your life, the more that you're going to start to see those new thoughts, those new affirmations being reflected back to you in your reality. Our ego is literally addicted and attached to needing something to be wrong. And that's not our fault. It's what we've been conditioned to. It's what we've been used to our whole life up until this point. But as soon as we can become aware that we do not need to stay stuck in the victim mentality, that we do not need to stay stuck in over rumination, that we do not need to stay stuck in that low place, we're able to take our power back and decide that I do not need to find something wrong all the time. I can consciously choose to persist in my new affirmations, into my new beliefs, into creating a reality that I actually desire and want to be living in. Persist in that enough until our beliefs become hardened as fact. Yes, of course, at first it's going to be a process of you getting yourselves to actually believe that the new story is reality. It's going to take time in you affirming the things you want to experience and not yet feeling it like it's real. But over time, the new beliefs begin to harden as fact, and you're going to be able to create a new mindset for yourself, and your mindset creates your outer reality. So you're going to start to see your reality reflecting your inner world. So to recap, in order to remove our limitations, we must stop overthinking about our limitations. Sorry about my dog. We need to stop constantly putting our focus into all of our limitations. We're always going to have things to heal. We're always going to have our next level to get to. And that's a beautiful part of being human. But we're done constantly ruminating over the same things over and over and over and over again. We're ready to take our focus out of our limitations and into the life that we want to create. Okay, that's all for me in this video, guys. I hope you got value out of it. If you did, please leave it a like and a comment down below letting me know what was the most valuable thing you got out of this video. Hit the subscribe button for new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. And without further ado, I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys. Love you.